Thank you all for coming this afternoon. I'm just going to have a quick sharing about ISS. Okay, and that should work now. All right, can you all see me? I hope so. Dexton, nod your head. Okay, great. So good afternoon, everybody, and thank you all for coming this afternoon. Who am I? First of all, I guess I should talk about. Oops, somehow it's not this. Okay, that's me. I'm the director of graduate programs for ISS. Spent 25 years in the AI industry, building all these smart nations that you're familiar with. I put together our AI programs, our data science program, and our software systems program. So those are the ones that lead up to our major Masters of Technology programs as well. So not too much about myself, but rather the fact that in addition to having an academic background, I'm very similar to the rest of ISS teaching faculty in that we all have very strong practice orientation. We've built a lot of systems. I've built easily 20, 30 different systems, what today would be called smart nation systems, and that's not too different from many of our staff in ISS. So let me just say a little bit more about ISS. So I think the question that some people always have a little bit is, what is ISS? Well, ISS, the Institute of System Science, is a part of NUS, the #1 university in the world, in Asia. We are a continuing education institute. We were started about 40 years ago. And we have, in the last 40 years, helped both Singapore in its computerization journey. We were set up to train the Singapore civil service to use computers. Then over the years, we changed to follow national agendas. And today, we're very focused on helping Singapore take its smart nation journey. Our focus is on continuing education, continuing practice-based education. So not undergraduate teaching, but very much about graduate teaching, as well as short course teaching. What you see, the three pictures on top there, on the upper left-hand corners are old building. It's currently under renovation. Was supposed to be ready this year, but there's something called COVID-19 that's creating a bit of a lag in a lot of building. And hopefully by beginning of January of next year, you'll see the shiny new building on the lower right. So that's the one we're all looking forward to. Currently, we're in the building in the middle. And if those of you who will join us starting in July this year, July or August this year, well, that's the building in the middle, which is our temporary home. But before you graduate, it will be the one on the right-hand side. We are one of the pioneers in alternative education pathways. When I said that we are postgraduate, but in a very different manner. It's not the idea that you are stuck in just taking programs. What we believe is that everybody deserves a chance to further their education. There are many ways of doing it, and the best kind of processes are those where you're needs driven. If you're hungry and you eat something, you enjoy the food better. Same thing with education. If you need to learn something so that you can do a better job, that's the best way of learning. So in job, right, when you're working, whether it's in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, when you're working and you need courses to gain new skills, that's where we have our modular courses. So on the lower left-hand side, modular courses, seminars, clinics, master classes. Those are professional conversions that will take you from where you are today, give you new skills so that you can continue doing the same job or a different job better, faster, better, many cases more effectively. And we still have graduate programs, but our graduate programs are different. We're stackable. Stackable means that you can take short courses. The short courses will come together into a graduate certificate. That graduate certificate, if you finish a project and an exam, will give you credits. Those credits will stack up to allow you to matriculate into a master's degree. And when you finish that master's degree, you get the same master's as you would get if you just join the normal master's degree. So I think you're all here for the normal master's and grad dip overview. So that's a true train program, 1 year time, 2 years part time. Or you want to do it in a stackable manner, you can do exactly the same degree over 5 to 7 years, uh, up to 7 years in a stackable manner. Yeah. So we are pioneers in the sense that we started this, we made it work, and we're doing it in a very um, skills oriented um, manner, in the sense that every time you do a course, you do a grad cert, or you do a degree, you're preparing yourself for skills that are needed exactly in today's workplace. Okay? More importantly, when we talk about ISS, what's a practice-based education? A practice-based education has three things. Our students are able to learn, right? It's not just that we teach. It's not about teaching. It's about students learning, right? Able to apply what they learn, and they create value when they do it. This means we don't want students who expect to be spoon-fed, right? We want students who are hungry to learn. We want students who realize that they need to invest a lot into their learning. Not so much wait there and we'll teach you, but you have to step yourself to learn. And I always use the example, not analogies in our teaching, about like playing football, learning how to play soccer. You might come to ISS to learn how to kick a ball, but you don't expect at the end of a 3-day lesson to be able to play football, right? You all know you have to go back, you have to practice, kick the ball yourself in the backyard 1,000 times, 10,000 times, and probably play a few hundred games of football before you're considered competent. That's the same thing. You come, you take a course, you're expected to go back, and you're expected to practice until you're good. And that ability to practice by yourself without around, without having to be in the classroom, that's the ability to apply. And when you get a job, you do the job from day one. More importantly, success is when you know when you kick a ball, when you kick it well, you know it. Right? Same thing when you are able to do a competent job, you know it. You know you've done a good job. Right? It's not if you have to say, did I do a good job? That's an ask us, you got an A, a B, or a C, that means you haven't understood. You haven't tried, you haven't practiced enough. When you've practiced enough, you know when you've done a good job. And that's important too as well. And lastly, to create value when you do it. It's not enough to play with fake data, to work in a lab. A lab is something that isn't the real world. Today, you need to blend the technology with the real world, with the business world, right? You all, if you get a job, or many of you are part-time working students, your work data, your work situations are what you want your job, what you want to learn to make a difference. And we encourage students to bring scenarios from work. We encourage them to use their own data on your own laptops, right? Not bringing it on to put on NUS machines, but bring your own data. And then when you complete a project, you can take it back, show it to your boss if you're working part-time, or you create a portfolio at the end of your course that you can show to a potential employer. And this creates a lot of changes both for yourself and for the organizations you work for. Our graduate programs, we have three outcomes. The traditional idea that you go for a program, for a degree, is that you will end up with a piece of paper, a qualification. Well, we don't think that's so important. A qualification is something that you get when you're ready to start a job. It's just a kind of like a passport. Right? When you have a passport, you never use the passport. It's a waste of time and money, right? The most important part about having a passport is that you've got to go and travel, practice it, use it. Similarly, when you come and join ISS, we expect you not to just come up with a qualification or the passport. You really need to have a portfolio of projects, right? You need to show your mastery of that area by able to talk about projects. Those of you who have worked before or done internships, you know that nobody really asks you, so how did you enjoy your learning of this course or that course? They'll ask you, what projects have you done? How well did you do? What problems did you face? How did you overcome these problems? That you get when you do real world projects. And at the end of the course with ISS, you will end up with such a portfolio. The third thing are endorsements. If you ask your professor, when your professor tells everybody, your employer comes and asks me, and I say, of course you did a good job. What else am I going to say? If I said that you did a bad job, it means that I made a bad student. It means that the professor did a bad job, right? So the professor will always say that students are good. But if you have endorsements from industry, from the people that you worked with in real projects outside, in internships, in collaborations and consultancies, and they say you're good, these people don't have vested interest in you. They will tell you the truth. And that recognition is recognition that you do the good job. Yeah. So our programs are calibrated as well. If you think about it, a professional diploma, if you think about cooking, baking a cake, for example, you know how to follow a recipe, right? And then after a while, you realize how to change your recipe. Go from white, maybe you want to bake a cake less sweet. You change the amount of sugar, you compensate with something else. That's the minimal level of a professional diploma. For graduate diploma, slightly higher, you're able to change the recipe and design a new recipe, right? That's important part. You're able to do new things in new situations. At the Mtech level, it's much more than that as well. We want you to be able to architect, innovate, and lead, right? So it's not about the recipe anymore. The recipe is the minimum. You're expected to use the recipes when you need them, change them, design them. But the main thing is that with a master's degree, you're equipped to start a food empire. That'll be much more interesting, right? So our program calibration is very different. Courses, professional diplomas, you learn how to do something. A grad diploma, not just how, but how and also why and what it is, right? And the Master of Technology is basically understand the technique, the science, as well as the ecosystem around things that make it not just do one small thing, but the ability to lead a bigger projects and bigger programs as well. All right, so I'm going to challenge you with a couple of examples. Now, I'm sorry, but you can't hear the audio in this one here. But so unfortunately, you just gotta have to trust me on this one. And it shows you how we have deep fakes today. A lot of deep fakes in today's videos. And the fun part is that, hey, it'll be great if you can actually build one of these type of systems. That's something that takes into account a lot of not just academic techniques, but also the ability to link those techniques to the real world and real people, right? Which you can see here, right? So example, and I can end on this one. And here's another example, much more. Again, this one doesn't require audio, so it's a little bit better. And everything you see in here is basically vision recognition, scene recognition. This is a video from NVIDIA, the company that does the graphics cards. They're also the ones that are taking a strong lead in autonomous vehicle driving. You see on the lower left-hand side, the picture just now was an autonomous vehicle driving in California. The guy's hands are not on the wheel, and you're seeing in here real processing. This is LiDAR perception. Our students in the robotics course will learn using LiDAR on our robots, right? Those are, of course, overlaid on a GPS map. Yep. And you can do some human recognition where people are being naughty and doing phones in the car, falling asleep when they haven't drunk enough coffee, yeah? And things like this. Okay, so basically, very much a case of challenging everybody here. Today's world is about being able to build applications like this, and not just one of them, but the techniques here and apply them all across, not just cars. It could be buses, trucks, planes, anything at all. All right. So the future, what we all think about as the future really starts now. You're here, hopefully, to learn to create this digital future, right? We invite you at this moment of opportunity to join us in ISS to take our courses. So the important part is let's go ahead and build it. All right. So thank you for listening to this short introduction. I'll pass you all out now to Dexton, who will continue from here and also answer your questions. All right, Dexton, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Leong. So a very good afternoon to everyone. So welcome to the Postgrad Virtual Fair. All right, I'm Dexton from the National University of Singapore, Institute of System Science. All right, today I'm going to take you through and provide you with valuable insights to our graduate program, so namely the Graduate Diploma in System Analysts, Master of Technology in Enterprise Business Analytics, Intelligent Systems, Software Engineering, and last but not least, the Master of Technology in Digital Leadership. So as Singapore continues on the smart nation journey, building on infrastructure, facilitating on innovation and creating the framework for all of us to contribute. So we need the right skills with the right mindset to be a smart nation. So because IT is in a big demand now and into the future. Or you see a demand for tech jobs in Singapore is growing yearly. The Singapore economy responds to the rising demand for ICT professionals. Right, by 2022, 75 billion of jobs may be displaced by the shift in the division of labor between humans and machine. So we have to start for education systems, equipping students with up-to-date knowledge and skills to use technology and how to create the technology of the future, to prototype and build things, to use the latest tools and be up with the latest technology. Right, as you all know, NUS is the leading global university centered in Asia, ranked 11 in the 2020 QS World University Ranking, ranked #1 in Asia, 10 in computer science and IT, and offering our graduates with good prospects by employers, both locally and abroad. So NUS ISS started in 1981 with an important national task of developing IT leaders and digital talents through education, applied research, consulting services, and career services. So NUS ISS is widely recognized as the champion for national skills future movement, enabling a digital economy that's always learning and always leading. So for those who are not aware, as what mentioned by Dr. Leong, we're currently in the midst of renovating and refurbishing our office building. And when completed, we'll be moving back to our original building by early 2021. So at the bottom right is an artist impression view of our newly renovated and refurbished building. So we develop IT professionals through our graduate programs, which I'll be touching on today, and also through our executive education programs. So today, about 135,000 Infocom and business professionals, 7,200 corporate customers, and 6,250 postgrad alumni members have benefited from NUS ISS suite of services. So NUS ISS has implemented a unique portfolio of multiple learning pathways with a wide spectrum of programs in critical industry disciplines such as software development, data science, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, smart health, digital governance, and innovation. So our graduates has an average of 23 years of industry experience. They prepare their own teaching materials with no prescribed textbooks, right? The mode of curriculum delivery involve case studies, project work, workshops, capstone projects, and assignments. So the programs are designed to equip you with the relevant practical knowledge to cater for the industry needs. So let us begin with our first program, the Graduate Diploma in System Analysts. So this is one of the oldest IT programs offered in Singapore, has been running more than 20 years. We have just closed our application window for the 51st intake and be starting our recruitment drive for the 52nd intake soon. So this is a 1-year full-time system analyst graduate program consisting of 7 months of full-time studies and 5 months of paid industry attachment. Right, this is this program designed to qualify university graduates for careers in ICT professionals, non-graduates who decide on a career switch, and PMBTs who wish to do a career conversion programs to IT. Right, so for 6 months, you'll be taught on aspect of designing and developing systems like .NET Enterprise Solutions, SQL programming, user experience design and system design using Agile and UMI, designing web-based solutions using Java and mobile-based solution using Android, and Python programming with machine learning. Next, you'll be required to complete a capstone project within 1 month. And upon successfully completing the project, you will commence your 5 months paid internship. So after which you will graduate with NUS Graduate Diploma in System Analysts. So this is Liu. Liu came from a Bachelor of Arts Communications background. So Liu completed the grad dip in System Analyst and was the CTO at the Smart Local. Next, we have Mark. Mark was an English teacher before he embarked on the graduate diploma in System Analyst and is now working for GovTech Singapore. So these are the graduate diploma System Analyst admissions requirements. So you need a bachelor's degree with or without working experience, provision in English language. And upon that, you need to successfully pass an aptitude test, which consists of 40 multiple choice questions. And after you are shortlisted, and you may need to be shortlisted for an interview with a lecturer. Right, the tuition fees are as follows. Right, Singaporeans and permanent residents do enjoy MOE fee subsidy. There are also options available to upgrade from a graduate diploma in System Analyst. You can undertake an Mtech program, either in a full-time study mode, completed in 1 year, or if you decide to do it in part-time study, it completed in 2 years. Next, I will move on to the Master of Technology in Enterprise Business Analytics, right? Information Intelligence Systems and Software Engineering. So our master's programs are offered in a stackable mode. So they typically consist of a series of grad certs that will stack up towards a full degree. So each grad cert is a recognition of the knowledge and skills that you acquired, making you ready for certain types of job roles. So basically, PMEs can attain a series of grad certs over a period of 5 years without disrupting your careers and have the flexibility of studying at your own pace by taking your required modular courses that make up the graduate certificates to meet your needs. If you do decide to attain the Master of Technology, you will need to be enrolled at the NUS student first and then complete a capstone project within 2 years. You may also undertake the Mtech degree program in the true train structure as a full-time or a part-time NUS student, which the modulars will be structurally packaged accordingly, which I will illustrate in my following slides. To note that full-time study will be for 1 year and part-time be for 2 years. So first up is the Master of Technology in Enterprise Business Analytics. Right? Business analytics is about using data to give insights and driving business planning and making business solutions. So basically extracting useful knowledge from data to solve business solutions. We will take you through the 7-step business analytics process cycle, taking you from defining the business needs and all the way to consolidating results of the decision. So who should be taking this Mtech in EBAC? So professionals who want to champion the use of analytics in their organization to make data-driven decisions, entry-level and business analytics professionals lagging the necessary academic fundamentals who want to play a role in the analytics initiative of the organization, and lastly, professionals in related fields such as IT, engineering, and science who want to acquire business analytics skills and knowledge so that they can play a role in the initiative of the organization. So these are some of the job profiles that our graduates get into, business analytics manager, data scientist, data analyst, and so forth. This is the program curriculum I'm showing you now. So students need to complete 2 compulsory foundation grad certs and 2 out of 4 specialist certs. So a total of 4 grad certs plus a capstone project to graduate with a Master of Technology in Enterprise Business Analytics. So as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, the first 2 columns, the grad cert in Management Business Analytics project and the grad cert in Business Practice. These are the 2 compulsory foundation certs, right, which you must complete. And the other 4 columns, you can see the grad cert in Customer Analytics, Customer Service Certificate in Big Data and Practical Language. So, and the other one, and these are the, so you need, so these are out of 4, you need to complete 2 of the 4 specialist certificates, plus a capstone project to graduate with a Master of Technology in Enterprise Business Analytics. So these are the Mtech in Enterprise Business Analytics requirements. So you need to have a bachelor's, a Master of Technology Enterprise Business Analytics, a good master's, bachelor's degree from a recognized university, preferably in maths, measurement science, and so forth. A grade point average of B, proficient in English, preferably 2 years of relevant working experience. So R and Python knowledge will be strongly recommended. You need to write an entrance test with us and also pass an interview. Okay, so potential students need to sit for the entrance test upon after completing an online application. So the test will consist of 50 multiple choice questions ranging from maths, reasoning, logical capabilities, business statistics, and data visualization. So the fees are as follows. So again, Singapore's and PRs are eligible for fee subsidy provided by the Skills Futures Singapore Agency, SSG. So next we move on to the Master of Technology in Intelligent Systems. So the key drivers of AI are within our city, our homes, business, and in the factory, which are adopted in our daily living within our community. So basically, intelligent system is the integration of sensors such as computer vision, sound and speech systems, smart sensors through artificial intelligence, process innovation such as machine learning, pattern recognition, cognitive intelligence, and developing into actions such as robots, autonomous vehicles, drones, chatbots, and so forth. So this is an example of an artificial intelligence are developed using motion detection systems for call center, customer service, and a shopping mall. So these are the job profiles which our graduates get into in AI engineer, robotic system engineer, vision system engineer, IoT system engineer, game developer, and so forth. Okay, this is how the program curriculum look like. So students need to complete 2 compulsory foundation grad certs and 2 out of the 4 specialist certs. Right? So a total of 4 grad certs plus a capstone project to graduate with a Master of Technology in Intelligent Systems. As you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, the first 2 columns, the grad cert in Intelligent Reasoning Systems and the grad cert in Pattern Recognition Systems. These are the 2 compulsory foundation grad cert which you must complete. And other 4 columns, you can see the grad cert in Intelligent Sensing Systems, the grad cert in Intelligent Software Agents, grad cert in Practical Language Processing, and the grad cert in Intelligent Robotics Systems. These are specialist certificates which you need to complete. That's 2 out of the 4 specialist cert, plus a capstone project to graduate with the Mtech in Intelligent Systems. So these are the Mtech in Intelligent System admission requirements. You need a bachelor's degree from a recognized university in any engineering field or science, a grade point average of a B, all right, preferably 2 years of work experience in a relevant field, computer programming abilities. Again, you need to pass an entrance test, plus an interview. All right, so students will need to write an entrance test after completing an online application. The test will consist 50 multiple choice questions ranging from maths, reasoning, logical capabilities, problem-solving skills, and computational abilities. The fees are as follows again. So Singapore's and PRs are eligible for fee subsidies provided by the Skills Futures Singapore Agency at SSG. Now we move on to the Mtech in Software Engineering. So Mtech in Software Engineering covers the systematic approach in the management of specification, architecture and design, maintenance and operations, and software framework and technology. So the focus is about architecting software systems, platforms, and products that are scalable, smart, and secure. So software is often regarded as a heart and the engine that drive intelligent systems and refined by data-driven analytics. Who should be taking this Mtech in SE? So software professionals who have preferably 3 to 4 years of software and development experience, experienced software engineers who are technical leads, senior software engineers, or architects who wish to further their knowledge in architecting scalable, smart, and secure systems. So these are some of the job profiles that our graduates get into: senior software architect, smart system architect, platform engineer, big data engineer, and product manager. So this is how the program curriculum looks like. So students just need to complete one compulsory grad cert and 2 out of the 4 specialist cert. So a total of 3 grad certs plus a capstone project to graduate with Mtech in software engineering. As you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, the first column, the grad cert in architecting scalable systems. So that is the only compulsory foundation cert which you must complete, right? Other 4 columns, the grad cert in architecting software systems, grad cert in designing and managing production platforms, grad cert in engineering big data, grad cert in security ubiquitous systems. You need to complete 2 out of the 4 specialist certs plus a capstone project to graduate with the Mtech in software engineering. So these are the Mtech software engineering admissions requirements. You need a bachelor's degree from recognized university in the field of engineering or science, a year of approximately B average. You need a preferably 3-4 years of working experience, right? Basic software engineering knowledge. You need to pass an entrance test, and also you're going to pass an interview. So students will need to write an entrance test. Upon completing an online application, the test will consist of 42 multiple choice questions consisting of maths, reasoning, logical capabilities, general IT knowledge, programming, software development practice, software design, basic software technology, mobile and web, and lastly, basic project management. So the fees are as follows. So Singapore's and perm residents are eligible for fee subsidies by the Skills Future Singapore agency. So last but not least, I'll move on to the Master of Technology in Digital Leadership. So the Mtech in Digital Leadership is the first locally conferred digital leadership master's degree focusing on developing strategic and forward-looking digital leaders for Singapore and the region. So the program is designed for seasoned professionals for career development with inputs from practitioners and developed by business, digital, technology, and thought leaders. So let's take a look at the program curriculum. So the master's program consists of courses grouped into 4 study areas, namely the practice of digital business, digital transformation, digital leadership, and people and digital leadership capstone. Right, this is the the general admissions requirements. You need a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution, preferably in science, engineering, computing, or business, or related disciplines. Provision in English language, a minimum of 5 years of work experience, relevant work experience, previously holding a senior management position, demonstrate digital equipment and work exposure to digitalization, has a passion and potential to assume a digital leadership position, passionate learners, right? And you need to write, you need to receive a favorable assessment and admissions interview. So for this program, there is no entrance test, just an interview by the board, admissions board. Yeah, so, and admissions is on a competitive basis, and preference be given the applicants with related job experience.
Thank you so much, Dexton. Unfortunately, we have come to the end of ISS
Sure.
session.